James here with Goings Enterprises, LLC on the square in downtown Girard. Hoping everybody's having a beautiful Wednesday morning. It's really windy here. So, I'd like to welcome everybody to a new segment I'd like to launch called, ready for it? Weekly Rant Wednesdays. So, Weekly Rant Wednesdays, basically, I get on here and I bitch and complain about whatever seems to be bugging me on that particular day. And right now, with some of the recent stuff I've had to deal with, subscriptions. Subscriptions, right? And I saw this coming years ago. So, take you back to 2000s, right? Early 2000s, I come back from active duty and you could buy a brand new computer with all the software you needed to operate it. It had word processing programs, it had all different kinds of stuff. It even came with a browser that you could get on the internet with. It was usually a crappy browser. I won't throw any particular names out there, but the browser I'm thinking of is defunct and no longer working. Um, so fast forward a couple years later, you buy another brand new computer, and now all the software is trial versions. Okay, uh, pain in the butt. Now you got to go out after your 90-day trial is over. You got to go out and actually locate the disk to upload the key onto your computer to reactivate the software that you probably already had term papers and stuff on that was now locked up into a read-only file that you couldn't print, email, nothing. Some of us college kids figured out pretty early on that all you got to do is roll back the calendar on your computer and that trial software never expired. So fast forward today, you cannot you cannot get software anymore, it seems like, without having to constantly pay for it over and over and over again in the guise of a subscription. Okay? You can't even go out and buy a disk to put into your computer to upload software. And here's a kicker. Have you bought a computer lately? They don't even have optic drives. They have removed optic drives from our computers. You can't slide in a disk or anything like that. You got to use a thumb drive, a flash drive, something of that nature. Well, they don't sell those things with software on it. You have to have internet access. You got to go online. You have to download and purchase a a program, some software that you then are constantly paying for, and the prices just keep going up. It's ridiculous. And what set me off is it's not just computer software, guys. Everything runs off hardware and software now, and they are doing this with everything. Movies. You cannot own a physical copy of a movie anymore. You think you can. You could go on Amazon Prime. You can. Probably shouldn't have dropped the name on here. Hopefully, I don't get flagged on TikTok for that. But you could take or you could purchase a movie on a streaming site that you think you own, and then in another 5 years from now, what are they going to do? They're going to tell you, oh, well, we're no longer supporting that format. If you want to keep your movie, you have to buy it all over again. Music. I had music on a particular, I had multiple albums that I had paid for on a particular music streaming service, a legit one. And some of you are probably going to know which one I'm talking about. They were like, you know what? We're doing away with this. We bought this other company. We are migrating to this other company with all of our music streaming. You have 90 days to swap all your music over to this other streaming service. Or the streaming service they were switching over to is a user made video service. So, another hint there. Well, I didn't get the memo and I wasn't listening to my music at that time. So, when I logged in to my account on the original music streaming service, I no longer had access to all this music that I had paid for. All right. So one company I will drop a name on. This is the one that really upset me. Is we were using a we had bought cameras in 2021. We bought an entire camera system. It's Y Home or Y, and it's spelled Y-I. When I first bought the cameras, no subscription necessary, right? So recently, what they have done is they have forced a freaking update onto my camera system that I already owned and operated to where now when I pull up cameras on the phone, or when this happened, when I go to pull up my cameras on my phone, I get blasted with all these pop ups wanting me to purchase a freaking subscription to cloud space through this company to continue to use my cameras. When I finally X out of all that to get to my camera layout and click on a camera, I select a camera and I look at it and I get a 90-second countdown. When that 90-second countdown is over, I get this message that locks my screen up and says that I have used all my available free time on my cameras. And if I want to continue watching live feed from my cameras, I had to purchase a subscription from Y Home or this Y camera company. So what did I do? I did what anybody else that doesn't want to continuously pay for crap. I jailbroke them. So I've got my cameras back with basically through jailbreaking cameras. Now I say what happens to the hardware and the original software that I paid for. And now they have no access to be able to come after my cameras and try to brick my stuff. Right. Now, when you do that, you got to be really careful because if you don't know what you're doing, you can easily break your stuff. Anybody with an old iPhone that has tried that on their own could probably tell you that. All right, so we're running a little long, but this particular rant is brought to you by another Goings Gourmet product, Goings Gourmet Strawberry Barbecue Sauce. Why strawberry, you ask? Because once upon a time, I had a state certified recipe for an amazing hickory smoked barbecue sauce. What happened? The state decided, hey, we want to make sure you have not changed your recipe, your formulation. We want you to recertify your current recipe. So I was like, I'm not going to keep playing this game every couple of years. So we switched from tomato based, which, believe it or not, they consider tomato a low acid fruit, switched from tomato to strawberry and several other fruits. So technically, we can call it a fruit butter, but it's a barbecue sauce, right? We have strawberry, blueberry, apple is amazing on pork, pineapple jalapeno on pulled pork sandwich. Well, that's all I got for you guys today. Merch links in bio. Love you all. Keep up the good fight. Keep your mental health in check. Take care of each other. Be good to each other. Have a good day.